Music.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mark Trowbridge from our Coral Gables Chamber of Commerce, and this is All or Nothing by O-Town in honor of All or Nothing Day.
Or Tom Brady, all or nothing.
I love it when you quote sports figures.
Tom Brady, it's all or nothing. He championship or nothing.
Championship or bust. Of course, I'm joined by Grant Miller, the
Grant Miller
indomitable
here.
Grant Miller here. What do you think about going to court and changing your name?
I think I might change my name.
What would you change it to? Grant Miller here? How about Grant Miller Trowbridge?
I was just maybe that'd be great.
You are too much, Grant
And today's
Miller.
Aunt and Uncle Day. Today's
Aunt and Uncle. I am an uncle to 19 nieces and nephews.
Wow. And today is Bagel Fest Day.
Bagel Fest Day. How many of you are fans of bagels and a schmear?
Where did bagels come from?
I don't know.
Don't tell me a Jewish deli.
No.
I want to know. Can you check where bagels came from? And
but don't tell us. Like, give us some hints.
And today is Disability Independence Day. I was at Shake a Leg today.
Yep. I'm sure they were doing a recognition of that. Great for companies who employ people with disabilities to highlight and showcase, their employees as well as their commitment. And there's one other day.
Coffee milkshake day.
Yeah, I don't really get that one. I mean, I get coffee, I get milkshake, but a coffee milkshake. Is that like an iced coffee?
Or is it is it coffee?
You know who love the iced coffees?
Who?
The gays. That's how we begin the day, is an iced coffee or an iced chai.
That's racist or prejudice.
How is that racist?
What is that? Only gays like coffee?
No, I just said they happen to enjoy an iced coffee. They drive through that drive-through and they're like, be sure to ice it. I don't drink coffee, but when I do, it's an iced coffee. An iced Leo when I go to Cafe Demetrio. This morning I had a PB&B vegan shake at Lifetime because I was so hungry after my workout and I knew I wasn't going to have much of a lunch. Are you all right?
I went and got tested today just to make sure before I saw you.
Yeah.
I'm all clean.
Which test? Monkeypox?
That too.
I'm worried about meningitis, monkeypox, COVID, shingles, HPV. There's so many things out there. When you go to like a Walgreens or a CVS and you want to get a vaccination, the list now is like 20 different shots that you can get. I was there getting my fourth booster,
you already got
a second booster. Yeah.
My doctor said, wait.
I'm over 50 years old. I know I don't look it. I mean,
you
that's
look
the difference
wonderful,
between
everybody.
us.
It doesn't Mark look wonderful? 100 pounds lighter.
Look at that dimple showing up there. I didn't used to have that because it was filled with fat.
Okay, so
and other corrosives.
Speaking of fat, how was your workout today?
It was good. Today we did what was called a push workout, which means Friday will be a pull workout. I've been going to Omar almost a year. August 10th is my 1-year anniversary at Lifetime, so it's coming up here in just about 2 weeks. And I've been faithfully dedicated to going 3-4 times a week. And I think the only time I was out was when I had COVID.
Wow.
Back in May, early June.
Okay, and then
it took me a while to recover. So
Family Expo Day, what is that?
Family Expo is a great program put on by the Children's Trust of Miami-Dade County. I am on the board of directors and work with a wonderful group of staffers and colleagues. And one of the things that we've done fully outdoors, and we're doing them in 3 different communities. So this one was at Miami-Dade Wolfson campus last Saturday, and it was awesome. It was warm, but tons of families and wonderful hospitality by Miami-Dade College and, Madeline Pumariega and Malou Harrison and the whole squad there, and great team. Davina and her team did an amazing job. So many wonderful community nonprofits providing services to our children and families, and even organizations that you're like, I didn't know we had a diaper bank here. I mean, people know.
Everybody knows we had a diaper bank.
People know the Children's Trust for what we do with, our literacy program and our book program when children are born, and our support of nurses in schools. And what we're doing in terms of providing support across the county.
That's David Lawrence involved with
But
that, correct?
he was the founder. He went to the voters and said, voters, would you be willing to pay, 0.5 mils to support a permanent children's trust? That, with property values where they are today, brings in, $180 million, which is gone in an instant in our communities because there's so much need. And that isn't just pandemic, but it's what we're dealing with in terms of inflation and housing costs. So one thing I know in working with Jim Hodge and his entire team is that we are making a difference every day.
Are you the incoming chair or something?
I am the treasurer and chair of the finance committee, and work closely with our chair, Ken Hoffman, and vice chair, Pamela Hollingsworth, and our secretary, Karen Weller. Wonderful people. But we also have another 25 board members who are really outstanding.
You have an anniversary coming up in December, right?
I do?
No, Children's Trust.
The Children's Trust, I think, it's going to be what? 15 years? 20 years? I think it's 20 years.
Yeah, I think
it's 20 years.
Rag's going to be doing a special section on it.
Are you talking about your own rag?
Yes.
Well, what can we do to support that special section? 20 years.
We'll talk about that. We're going to do a special section. We met with your team.
Oh,
the
lovely.
PR team.
Natalia, Zaya, Jimena, and the whole team?
Yeah, I call it the mafia. They told me what we're doing. They didn't ask. They just told me.
Well, it is a bit advertorial as well.
Yeah, and
20 years. I should have known that instead of 15. Yeah. But we did go back out for revote to make it permanent. And both times this community stood up and said, we trust the trust. It's in our name. And never had a hint of scandal. The money is well spent. It is diversely distributed throughout the community. And we're working with kids with disabilities and after-school programs. And I mentioned the nurse program, literacy, adoption, working with gay and lesbian youth. I mean, you name it, we've got an NGO that is working hand in hand with the trust.
We need to get a new jacket soon.
No, this is the style.
Oh.
It's kind of a raglan.
So Leonard Cohen documentary, who's he?
Leonard Cohen wrote the song Hallelujah.
Hallelujah?
And I'm going to ask our producer here.
Can you find that?
To find that. There are many artists who have recorded this song in history, but when you hear it, you're going to know it. But he wrote the original.
Leonard
then Jeff
Cohen.
Buckley, Katie Lang sang it at the Olympics. I mean, it's pretty wonderful. He died a few years ago, and they did a documentary. And the documentary chronicles his incredible life. He is French-Canadian from Montreal, and we did it in conjunction.
It's Montreal.
Montreal, and we did it in conjunction with the Canadian consulate and Susan Harper. And this is Leonard Cohen. He's not the best singer. It's a little slower. So I'm going to have you switch over to the Jeff Buckley version, if you don't mind.
And why are you looking? What about bagels? Who invented bagels? I think it was a poor guy. Had bread. So I'm going to eat a little bit. Ate some out of it.
You know what the key to a really fresh and amazing bagel is?
What?
The water. So New York, which considers and fancies itself as having some of the best public water in the world, feels like their bagels are the best because it's made in their water. How about that? I learned that on my food tour when I recently visited New York and did a food tour in the West Village. So Jeff Buckley is now deceased. He died very young, presumed drowned, but he was found, in a river, and very young. And so he heard this and
copied it,
added some of his own style to it. But you know this song.
I don't know it.
We'll let it play for a moment. But I loved it. We worked with Books and Books, as I mentioned, the Canadian consulate, Susan Harper, who's an amazing partner. Books and Books, and of course Brenda Moe and the team at the cinema. You know how much I love movies.
Really? What movie did you see Sunday?
A Secret Chord. Hey, to please the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Please the Lord.
Please the Lord.
Listen quietly.
I can't listen quietly.
The fourth, the fifth. Listen to his beautiful tenor voice. Leonard Cohen was not a tenor.
It sounds like
Hallelujah.
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 Oh, yeah, I know this song. Hallelujah. My minds go faster.
You can play it faster.
All right. So, whose first birthday was it this week?
Stella.
Who's Stella?
Stella is my friend Denise's dog.
Who doesn't come up to me at the gym? Why?
She's, I think, focused on her workout.
What is Denise?
She's also not always sure that it's you because you go and she says you wear like 2 hefty bags to work out in. Are you like one of those guys who's trying to drop like water weight? Like, are you a wrestler? You're trying to cut weight? What is it you wear? And she says you always have a hoodie on. Here we go.
I'm a little confused. I don't wear a hoodie. I wear a hat.
Else is new that you are confused? So you asked me what movie I saw last Sunday. I saw Where the Crawdads Sing. Amazing movie about a young woman who lives in the swamp.
What's Denise's last name?
Minikowski. Happy birthday, Stella.
M what?
MINAKOWSKI. Anyway, Stella is her lovely rescue. I see her at the gym. And so she had a dog party. And, I did not take Winston because, he's 14 and that's not a good spot for him.
How old is that in human age?
It's over 100. 98. He's old.
I just saw some lady, 102. She was celebrating her
birthday. He's an old cat, but we love him. And he, we were thinking it was probably the week to say goodbye, and then he had a little rebound. Suddenly he's bounding back up the steps.
Good. All right, so
eating well, just like I'm doing, and no one's trying to off me.
Today was Take Your Intern Day. How was that event?
Today was a celebration and Take Your Intern to Lunch, a program we've done for a number of years, but not the last 2. And we had a sellout event with 50 folks over at Morton. So thank you, Elizabeth. Thanks, Barracat and Bosa. And thanks to my friend Ali Rodriguez, who always does the etiquette portion. So I have a feeling that, if you brought your interns, you would learn something about, etiquette over a meal. Here's your number one mistake that you make. You never sit down.
A Friday.
Makes people nervous.
Okay, so Friday you have the trustee invitation only.
Trustee invitational.
What is that?
Yes. So that used to be our interactive luncheon.
Right.
But as you can imagine, post-COVID, where we are today, really hard to staff that event because each table of 8 requires 2 or 3 staff and all the prep work because all the food prep that's done by course. So instead, Erica came up with a great idea.
Great job, Erica.
To do an event that was a wine pairing. So we have a sommelier.
Who's that? Is that
one of our members who's a sommelier. I think her name is it's either Veronica or Vanessa. I know it's a V name with Drury Law Firm. She does this on the side. We have the distributor, Welker. Not so great with all these names. Anyway, 3 courses, 3 pairings, and we have 100 people coming to lunch.
With their interns. So it's 50 people with their interns.
No. That was today, was with your intern.
Okay.
We're not giving wine to the underage interns.
So that's Friday. Where's Friday?
Friday's at the Biltmore. Matthias and his team are hosting us. And like I said, it's a transitional event this year after 2 years of not hosting the interactive.
Is it in a restaurant or is it in one of the banquet rooms?
I think it's in one of the ballrooms.
Is it sold out?
It is. We could have taken a few more people, but remember, we need to guarantee our numbers about a week out.
And then you also have you have so much going on. You got Reconnect in August.
Well, it's the beginning of the month, and so always the beginning of the month.
Where's Reconnect?
That's at Morton's.
And where's Rising Stars Awards?
That's at the new Coyo Taco on US 1, where the old Spring Chicken was and the old Miami's Best.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll have a big. We'll have about 80 people at that event. We've got 5, 9, 15 nominees, finalists.
It's interesting. They call it
some of your favorite people are finalists.
Like who? I said David.
Like
I saw
Caleb Lake
and Larry. Larry Limps, the dentist. He was in another award.
It was a different award. That was the City Beautiful Award.
Yeah, Miss
Mary Lesperance.
Yeah, Blake's got what's she up for?
She's up for Rising Star. What's called the I think it's the Shooting Star for somebody who works for a company or a nonprofit and has done great things. And remember, Kayla was the first ever rising star, finalist, nominee who just passed $1 million in sales.
I was just going to say, she's kicking butt over there.
She's done a great job. That's a really
And her
deep
personality,
category.
she's kicking butt.
She's relentless.
You want one ticket? I'll get you that ticket.
It's a tough category because, one thing I say about our young professionals, they're not uncomfortable with, recognition that will allow them to further their career. And we're thrilled. Brittany Quintana, the gentleman named Mr. Guerra, lots of great finalists. Neuroimmigration for one of the companies.
What day is that?
Next Wednesday. So it's in lieu of Wind Down Wednesday.
At night?
It is at 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
at Coyo Taco.
That's give or take. It is not South Miami. People think it's South Miami.
It is US 1, Coral Gables in the old Miami's Best, right on US 1. It is not the Coyo Taco in Giralda. Please don't go there. We won't be there. And we're going to give out 5 or 6 awards.
That used to be the tomato place, pizza place.
Miami's Best.
That used to be Miami's Best.
Yes, that is correct.
And then across the street next to it was the Cleaners. I don't know if there's a Cleaners.
I don't think so. But
okay.
We're super excited because, our young people are the future not only of our workforce, but they're just so much wonderful energy that they bring to this event. So today we had the intern lunch with a lot of our companies and their college students and high school students and law students. Friday is the invitational. So definitely looking forward to that opportunity. And so Erica has been working on that with Matthias and the team from the wine distributor and our SOM. And then next week, Reconnect at Morton's and Rising Star. And then the real focus will be on the annual conference.
18th and 19th.
That's right. So on the night of the 18th, at the Biltmore, we'll be honoring Mr. Gene Prescott with our award for Outstanding Corporate Citizen and our Georgie Merrick Award. Yep, that's the Thursday night.
He is a class act.
We love Gene. And we've wanted to honor him in the past, and this was the perfect year, the rise and return of the industry. Gene has also always been incredibly generous and philanthropic.
And he makes me feel tall.
He's from Utah.
That's part of the reason.
A cowboy.
He must be a cowboy.
When he finished his term as chair of the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, golly, I think he had served for 2 or 3 years as chairman with great distinction. They gave him a beautiful handmade saddle because he loves to ride. So
did you ride in Miami or just?
No, I don't know. I mean, at the time, you'd have to go south of here to ride. But
you go west where my brother lives in horse country.
It was pretty awesome. And what's really, really cool is he's just the most humble. We've been really blessed over the last few years to honor individuals who are just incredibly humble.
It's interesting. I don't really know him. We say hi.
Yeah.
But he's always goes out of the way to say hi. It's just really a class act.
So, that'll be Thursday night. We'll also be announcing later this week our American the Making Award honorees. And so those are our younger professionals. And we have a nice group of committed community
What's
citizens.
Younger professionals? 50?
Yeah, I would say, or maybe have been in the community a shorter time. Maybe they moved here, but they've made a nice contribution. We've honored Deirdre Nero in the past, Adrian Nunez, Nick Sharp, really, really great people.
Up and coming people.
Yeah, so American the Making.
Yeah. So back to bagels. Where did that go?
This is a very aggressive countdown clock. I just want to say that.
Okay, bagels.
My plan is to ignore it.
Bagels when were they started? 17th century.
There's this new monitor under the main monitor. Very irritating.
Okay, we're not going to find out about bagels because it's too small for us. Is it too small for you? No comment?
Are we still talking about the print?
Bagels? Yes.
No, but I'm sure our wonderful producer will.
Okay, so what's about Ireland? What's up with Ireland?
So, big week last week. We met with the new Consul General of Ireland, Sarah Kavanagh.
Where did you meet him?
She.
At John Martin's?
No, it's not open yet.
And who
she
owns
was
that?
visiting.
Who owns it?
I think that's a partnership with Terra Nova owns the building, but I think the guys that have taken that over.
You don't know who it is.
I don't know them, but they're known to people.
Oh, okay.
So, but they have a pretty
Is
you know,
John
significant.
Lynch or Martin going to be involved with
I
it?
think Martin offered, you know, some counsel early on, maybe on the.
John Lynch is not going to be at the corner of the bar waiting for you.
I don't think so, and I think John, you know, has been, you know, battling some health issues, which was one of the reasons that they took an early pause on their lease.
Okay, well,
earlier than it was due.
What movies have you gone to?
Well, I told you I saw the Crawdads movie. I saw the Leonard Cohen this weekend. I'm sure there'll be something that I'll see. I don't know if something new's coming out at the Art Cinema or at Landmark, but I always see a movie every week. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3.
That's your downtime.
It is a very solitary experience. So bagels came in the 1600s in Austria by a Viennese baker paying tribute to the King of Poland.
Wow.
How about that? Vienna, but Poland.
Okay, we'll let it slide.
So, you know, our friends in New York can step down and step away. Am I keeping you awake?
Yeah.
Did you have a big lunch?
No, we had this event this morning. We had
yes. I'm sorry I could not be there. I understand it was very lovely from our Mayor Lago.
It was nice, you know, but it's.
Did you have a croqueta?
One? You had about a dozen.
I like when they walk by with the plate and you pop them in your mouth like they're
nothing.
Breath mints.
Right. And you have about a dozen.
The whole thing disappears. It's like a card trick.
Well, it's you know, for so many years you've been doing it, so it's like I got to speak.
So what I like to do now is have the breakfast with you and then try to schedule something like at 9:00 at Casa Cuba, because I really like you know, a Cuban breakfast, you know, whether it's eggs with, you know, queso suizo or, you know, panko, you know, panko mantequilla, like mucho mantequilla.
Right. Okay.
Café con leche, no ice.
No. Oh, no ice. No ice.
No, a café con leche for me is leche y un café.
Okay.
Just a little bit of café.
So,
who are you texting with?
Okay.
Are we making plans without me?
No, this is my brother. Make sure he's working.
I just saw him through the window.
No, I can't see anything. I got everything blocked for me.
I feel like he got a haircut. You need a booster seat? We can put a phone book on that for you.
So you got your second booster shot.
Yeah, that was some months ago. And then I got second round of COVID after. I got my second booster on Easter Sunday because I was in town and I figured nobody is going to be going and getting a shot on Easter Sunday because they're with family or at church or both. And there was a little bit of a line. And so, you know, I was waiting and wandering around. And what was hilarious to me was this woman came in and she was really, you could tell, she probably had just had a baby, like maybe within the last like 3 or 4 days. And she was trying to find some, you know, items for herself. And nobody really would help her. So I was like, I helped her carry the pads to the cash register because no one would help her.
Oh.
What has happened to us in our ability as a community to really love one another and be helpful? And you know, I went to a city commission meeting last night, and a lot of the people
at night.
who
I thought
spoke,
they were during the day.
Yeah, but when it's a zoning or a development project, they're at 5:00. I saw a lot of people be really mean and rude to the applicant, to the members of the commission. I mean, at one point, they were hissing.
These are Gables residents.
For the most part, yeah.
Interesting.
It was just a little shocking to me. And not in the sense that I haven't seen that behavior before, but shocking in the sense that we're just, I guess it's always going to be this way from now on.
A little disrespectful. So
a little.
I mean, so July is a slow month, supposedly.
Yeah,
Chamber.
it feels slow. I mean, we've had a good number of events, but
members, it's slow getting new members.
Yeah,
Why?
mean, I think because a lot of people are out of town. I think there is a sensitivity around writing a check right now because of other high costs, and everything about a chamber is voluntary. Whether you sponsor something or you become a member.
Let's just go over something. So you say everybody's traveling. Michael, have you gone on a vacation ever in July?
Michael, I feel like, went on a vacation to get his hair cut. It looks nice.
Do I need to get a cut, or
Did you recently get it cut?
no, a while ago when I noticed it was hanging down?
Oh, I noticed it through the window. I thought it looked nice. Like maybe you got a new stylist, or
Yes.
maybe you're using your Flowbee at home.
What, the Flowbee?
Remember the Flowbee?
No.
Flowbee was the one of those early things you could buy on TV, and it was an attachment, cut your hair to your vacuum cleaner, so that hair wouldn't fall to the ground.
Sounds perfect for me.
And you would basically just attach like a 1, 1.5, 2.5, one of the clippers. You couldn't really style your hair, which
We'll
probably
keep that in mind, Michael.
probably requires some scissors. I would love to get my hands on a vintage Flowbee and just cut people's hair.
All right, so you're allergic to something in the air, right? You got
Well, I have allergies to pollen. As a kid, I literally lived on Dristan, which was like this antihistamine, because I was always struggling in the spring. Here, it's a longer window because of the blooming. But when I talked to my allergist in the last couple of weeks, he said that I'm also having a reaction to Saharan dust.
that's what's happened to me.
That there's a lot of that dust in the air, which in some ways is a good thing because it is keeping the hurricane season kind of suppressed. So we're about to head into August, and
so whatever I
nothing
got,
much in the tropics.
I was all nervous. I went and got checked this morning.
Nervous about what?
About COVID. You know, everybody gets a little nervous.
I mean, there's another variant out there, which, the president has that variant. So, it doesn't seem like it's
going away,
or the variants are abating. So you got to keep an eye on it, because remember, whatever booster you got or vaccine you got, was created with kind of the big C of COVID, like not necessarily. So you may get, I think that's what happened to me. That last variant was just the booster wasn't
I'm going to get my booster.
aggressive enough.
I think I'm going to get my booster next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Got to check.
How are things going with our ladies at Marco Drugs?
They are killing it. They're going to be opening a store right
I was going to
down here.
ask you what's happening with the new space.
September. It's going to be a drive-through, and we're very happy they're moving into our neighborhood.
I'm a big fan of those ladies.
Yeah, we're going to be throwing a big party for them.
I would like to be included.
You're going to be the MC. Am I right, Michael?
Here's the most important thing. Can you find out if I can get a monkeypox vaccine?
I'll ask them.
Yeah.
But they're going to have a business party, and we're the host, and you're the MC. I've got to tell you.
That's like you emailing me last night at like 11. You know that on Monday nights, I've had a long day. It is unnatural for the first day of the week to be a 12-hour day. It's just not natural. Your body's like,
well.
And then I'm up at 5:40 to go to the gym at 6:30.
Well, Michael, he takes his nap from 6 to 8.
I read something yesterday, Michael, that said naps of a person of your age are more prevalent to strokes. Oh, you know who was there last night at the
who?
At the city commission?
Who?
Your friend, Mr. Winker.
Who's he representing? Country club.
Some of the neighbors.
We saw the Gables mayor this morning.
Yes, Vince Longo.
Yes, I know. He told
Standing
me.
ovation.
He and I had a call at 8:30. He'd already been to see you.
He had a standing ovation today. He's gonna hold the record. He's just kicking butt, right?
Yeah, I mean, the mayor is so engaged. Our call at 9:30 or at 8:30 was on a number of topics, which we speak probably 3 or 4 mornings a week.
That's good. I don't know if you ever had that before.
No. I think probably every mayor and I have different relationships. So, working with Don was great.
That was 25 years
big
ago.
Community things. No, it wasn't. It was 15 years ago.
No.
But Don was very focused on, the arts and, so engaged with the community at large. He'd lived in the Gables so long, and he still is. He's so passionate about Coral Gables.
He's on the golf course.
And, Jim was a lot of fun because he was still getting to know Coral Gables.
And he's bilingual. That was impressive.
Oh, he's quadruple lingual. He speaks English, Spanish, a bit of Portuguese, the native language of Paraguay called Guarani, and Italian.
And he speaks Spanglish.
He's fun too.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been really lucky. I've worked with 4 mayors. And Mayor Valdez-Fowley really focused on, international community. He and I traveled to Buenos Aires together.
Really?
It was a really great experience. We have been very fortunate. Listen, we don't agree on every issue with our elected officials. But what we do agree on is that we're all passionate, committed, and focused on the success of Coral Gables.
Live. What's it called? Live, play,
work,
play,
learn,
and
play.
Play all those.
And if it was you, date.
And date. D-A-T. Very good. Touche.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Well, guess what? It's time.
Stop trying to cut me off at 30 minutes. We used to do an hour.
Yeah, but
we used to do 45 minutes, and now you act like we don't have anything to talk about.
We have plenty to talk about, but I have a cold.
I know you don't feel well.
Yeah, but I'm clean. I double checked.
I don't know. You've got blood all over you. I mean, I can't tell if you're coming or going, and I can't. Last week you had blood on your sleeve.
I got blood here, blood on my back.
And listen, while we have such a large audience listening of 3 of you, I just wanted to say last week was not our best. I don't want to blame anybody except myself to say that I got a little bit irritated when we had to start over and we weren't live. And, so forgive me. I can get cranky too.
Really?
Here's what are 5 things that cause me to be cranky. My mother. I'm always hungry.
Right?
I'm always sore.
Okay.
I'm always in a state of, trying to hold up the wall, whatever the wall may be at that moment. It could be the chamber. It could be, yes. And I am always ready to go. What would the word be that we could use on?
Let's say
Randy. Again, let me just ask the audience this, and you can dial in. I don't know if we have a number
305
or not. But if you want Grant and I to do a show where we just talk about our dating lives, you let us know. It may not be a show that can be rerun, but if you want he and I to play like our own game of like truth or dare, we're wrapping up season 2 or 3 here. I don't know how many years we've been doing this.
We are on 150 episodes.
I don't know how many shows we have, but the lovely Miller team here
2 COVID
loves to stroke my ego and say that this is one of the most watched and beloved shows that they have.
It is, Mark.
And yet we're in this studio and yeah, there you go.
Okay, people.
We're not even in and you want to know why we're not in the other studio?
Why?
Because you said it makes your belly look big.
Right. You want to go back there?
No, if yours looks big, mine must look enormous. Anyway, I'm doing 2 shout outs. I want to thank Denise for inviting me to her dog party and apologize for causing.
Denise, when I see it in the gym, I look all baggy pants, baggy shirt, old shoes, a beat up hat. But I will say hello to you, Denise. Now I know.
So thanks for inviting me, and I apologize for creating a little bit of trouble. I know a lot of Denise's neighbors, it turns out. She lives in a great neighborhood in South Miami, and I'd say 4 of the couples that came I knew personally just from other walks of life. So that was pretty cool. But, the ones who brought their dogs, out of control, a lot of them. One woman who had a big black lab, the dog jumped up on the dog bar, which, Denise had made all these like dog-friendly treats, and humans could eat them too because they were made of flour and cheese and other things. But literally got up on the whole table, knocked everything on the ground. And I thought to myself, how is this any different than a kid's party? It's really awesome. Mitchell Kaplan was there with his dog and his lovely wife. One of our members, Susan Rutro, and her husband was there with their 4 dogs. Friend Lynn Mitchell there with her dog.
Wow.
We just know all these people. Tom Marco, his wife, Benny.
Tom Marco was there?
You know Tom Marco?
Yes.
From the county? Love
Absolutely.
Tom. He is hilarious. All of them live in her neighborhood. I said to her, I know that couple, right? That's Tom Marco, right? And she's like, yeah. She goes, how do you know all my neighbors? I'm like, I don't know. Because Miami's a small town.
Very small.
Very small town, but it's filled with big, bold, bright ideas. My good friend, Francesca Valdez, who's such a great partner, and I were chatting on the way over here. And, we need to focus on people being more compassionate, loving one another a little bit more. I'll be right out in front of that. I'll do better every single day, but we're like on a powder keg and everybody's ready to pounce. No need to pounce. Pounce for joy. That's what I say. And don't forget our very special episode coming up called Grant and Mark Go on a Date.
Stop spreading rumors because everybody knows it's not a rumor. I meet you at Merritt Park movies every Sunday.
I think people are jealous of valuable, authentic, real friendships, and they don't need to be. Just work on yours.
I just hold your popcorn for you in the movies, right?
I mean, you know how important my popcorn is.
Very important.
Tell me what it is that I order.
Popcorn.
That's correct.
Diet Coke.
Or Coke Zero.
It's Coke Zero. And a big thing of peanut M&Ms. And you put them in the popcorn.
I've moved away from the peanut M&Ms.
No, you put them in the popcorn.
They get a little soft. What have I moved over to?
Me.
Snow caps. I'm addicted to snow caps. I went through a junior mint phase and then over to snow caps.
Wow. All right.
Well, thanks for the overtime. I know our producer's sitting over there dressed like Mr. Rogers, wondering what the heck is going on. I mean, it's 104 degrees out.
Leave Mr. Rogers alone.
You do a great job of hiring young men. I swear to you, you guys have your own. You have an OnlyFans studio here?
Yes.
That I don't know about?
Yes. Mr. Roger runs it.
He doesn't know what that is. Do you know what that is? Oh, okay. Not advertising for them, but I want the young people to know that I'm in tune.
Gotcha.
I'm in tune with the youth movement of this country. Michael Miller, we're going to drag him into modernity. And you, well, tune into the dating show. What if we did like a dating show? Remember how they used to do the dating game?
Yes.
And it was a guy and 3 women or a woman and 3 guys. I don't know if they ever did a gay or bisexual version, but probably not.
You just didn't know it.
Probably not back in those days.
You didn't know it then.
Yeah, no. But, I watched last night a show called The Bachelorettes. Okay. So I know this show's been on for a while, but I never knew that they had 2 women on. Is that something new?
That must be.
I don't know that show. Do you know that show?
Is it on
Bachelorettes?
Is it on after 8:00?
Yeah.
Michael.
Well, I was already.
Remember Michael Seeps from.
I was already dozing. It was closer to 9 or 10.
That's what Michael's already waking up.
But here's what happened, and I don't know how the show works, other than I think it's a competition to find a spouse. But these 2 women went out on they kissed in one episode. Each of them kissed like 6 or 7 guys, like on the same day.
And?
Well, I'm just like, wow.
During COVID.
Well, I'm sure they're all getting tested because it's network television, but like they were like trying to narrow it down. I don't know. I need to know more about it. So please write in. I don't know if there's a number or an email. You know how live shows, they're like, please write in, like public television. Please send us your comments. Is anybody commenting?
They will today when they get off work.
There's Francesca. She gave
Martin
me a little.
left town. Who's Martin?
Martin, this is like from a previous show. George is there. Hi, George. We haven't talked to you in a while, but we saw you.
Wait. Jeff Garcia said, "Who's Martin left town? Who's that?"
Mark, you should try the new theater at Cocoa Walk. I have been there. It's just that most of the movies I can see are either at the Landmark, which is, a member of ours, or I can go to the Cobb Cinebistro right by my house, which I really love. Jeff Buckley version turned us all onto it. You're absolutely right. That's where I first heard it, but he did not write the music. That was Leonard Cohen. And by the way, go see that documentary or download it, stream it, whatever you do. It's lovely. Hello, Aventura News. Lovely to see you. What's the Wharf?
Yeah, Jeff. What the Wharf guys? Who's that?
Oh, that's who's got John Martins. He's 100% right. Martin left town. He is over in Ireland. You know what he's doing? Golf junkets. So he's putting together high-end golf trips. You fly to Ireland or Scotland and you play like, you know.
Somebody else told me that too.
You play like the royal and ancient courses, like the old course.
Hey, Jeff, thank you for paying attention.
Thank you for clarifying that. He's absolutely right.
Jeff, you're on top. Jeff, Mark is taking us to lunch.
I want to see more enthusiasm for the dating show. So we may have to work that up. I feel like our producer here might be too young to hear some of the things.
Okay, but we'll work on that. Okay, let's wrap it up.
All right. Well, we've had a great time. Thanks for the overtime. Thanks for the enthusiasm. But most importantly, thanks for tuning in. You know, we're very lucky as a chamber to have great partners like Michael and Grant Miller and Miami's community newspapers. Most importantly, as a chamber, we're here to be an advocate. We're here to be a cheerleader, and we're here to support you. If you're not a member of your local chamber, check us out or check out a local chamber in your community or neighborhood. All of us work really hard on your behalf to be, all about growth, business climate, and opportunity. So with that, it's a wrap. Next week when we get together, it's going to be August, which is our annual conference month. We'd love to have you there. Told you, we've got General Laura Richardson, only the second woman ever to be a 4-star in the United States Army, ladies and gentlemen. And we are a country of over 250 years old. That's big news. And she's running Southcom. If you love the U, well, then come and hear the new athletic director. Dan hasn't done a lot of presentations.
None.
Dan Radakovich is coming and going to be speaking to our members about NIL and the business of sports. And most importantly, which I think is a big takeaway, is great fellowship and a wonderful closing reception hosted by Alan Morris. Great guy. The Alan Morris.
Everybody, Grant Miller here.
Grant Miller here. Thanks for the overtime. And we'll be running this again on a local station near you.
Channel 39. Have a great day.
Feel free to write in. I do love all